Welcome to the deep dive. You know, it feels like the cybersecurity news cycle has just been relentless lately.
It really has.
So much so, we felt like we almost needed a cybersecurity double day just to cover the important stuff.
Definitely feels that way sometimes.
And that's why we're bringing you this expanded deep dive today. A big thank you to our sponsor, www.cisomarketplace.services, for making this possible.
Absolutely, thanks to them.
So yeah, extra coverage today.
And our mission really is to cut through all that noise. There's just so much information flying around.
Right.
We want to pull out the critical developments you really need to grasp. We'll be looking at, major breaches, some interesting legal moves, the whole AI angle.
Which is huge right now.
Huge. And of course, how governments and companies are trying to respond. The aim is to give you the essential insights without, hopefully, overwhelming you.
Okay, great. Let's dive right in then. First up, this LockBit situation. This feels like a pretty major hit against a big ransomware player, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. May 7th, their dark web affiliate panels, they were basically taken over, defaced.
And not just defaced, right?
Yeah.
There was that message.
Yeah, quite a pointed message. Don't do crime. Crime is bad Zoxo from Prague. And crucially, it linked to a massive data dump.
A massive dump indeed. This panelbedump.zip file. I mean, it wasn't just superficial stuff.
No, not at all. We're talking nearly 60,000 unique Bitcoin addresses. That's a lot of potential trails.
60,000. And thousands of negotiation messages too, right? From late last year into the spring.
Over 4,400 negotiation messages, yeah. Gives a real window into their operations. But maybe the most striking part.
The passwords.
The passwords. Plaintext passwords for admins and affiliates. Things like, Weekend Lover 69 and LockBit Proud 231.
You really can't make this stuff up. Weekend Lover 69. Does that kind of basic security failure within a major criminal group surprise you, or is it just, par for the course?
It's surprising and yet not, if that makes sense. You'd expect more sophistication, but human error or perhaps arrogance creeps in everywhere.
I guess so.
And beyond the passwords, the dump had credentials for 75 users, detailed ransomware configurations.
Like what to encrypt and what not to encrypt. I saw mentions of ESXi servers to scale.
Oh, exactly. Specifics like that.
Okay.
Which files to target. It's a really granular look inside their toolkit.
And this seems important. Their actual private keys, the ones needed for decryption, they weren't lost. LockBit's up apparently confirmed that.
That's what they claim, yes.
Yeah.
The core decryption capability seems intact.
So, is that just a small consolation? How bad is the reputational hit if the keys are safe? I mean, are criminals really worried about their brand?
That's a great question. The keys being safe is significant for their immediate operations. But the reputational damage? The loss of trust with affiliates, exposing their infrastructure, that's still a major blow.
Right.
And there's that intriguing Prague message link, possibly tying it to the Everest ransomware breach, which used a similar sign-off.
So maybe infighting, or someone specifically targeting these groups.
Could be. It suggests some interesting dynamics, maybe shifts in the cybercrime ecosystem. It certainly adds another layer to it.
And LockBit's been targeted before, right? Operation Kronos last year.
Correct. Law enforcement hit them hard then. And we've seen similar leaks from Conti, Black Basta, Everest. It seems these groups are increasingly vulnerable to disruption, whether from rivals or law enforcement.
It's like that analogy you mentioned, ransomware as a digital hostage crisis.
Exactly.
And now the hostage takers themselves are finding their own vulnerabilities exposed?
Precisely. It weakens their position significantly.
Okay, let's shift gears. Another huge threat making waves is this industrial-scale phishing operation called FreeDrain, targeting crypto.
Yes, FreeDrain. And industrial scale is definitely the right term. Sentinelone and Valadin uncovered this massive global campaign.
How massive are we talking?
They found over 38,000 distinct subdomains hosting fake login pages. 38,000.
Wow, how did they manage that kind of scale? Just sheer volume.
It was sophisticated. They were really good at SEO manipulation, getting their fake pages ranked high in search results.
Oh, so people searching for legitimate wallet info might find these fakes first.
Exactly. They also used free web services like gitbook.io, github.io to host the lore pages. Cheap and easy to set up.
Sneaky.
And they use layered redirection. So you click a link, it bounces you through a few hidden sites.
Making it harder to see where the scam actually started.
Precisely. It masks the origin and the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Stealing crypto wallet seed phrases.
To private keys. Basically, everything.
Everything. Complete access to the victim's funds. It's like that other analogy we talked about, baiting a fish with a fake worm.
Right.
But doing it thousands, tens of thousands of times, automatically catching people who are actively looking for wallet services. It's incredibly deceptive.
Yeah, that's deeply concerning. Okay, moving on. Maybe some better news. There seems to be some legal pushback happening. Meta winning that huge lawsuit against NSO Group.
Yes, $168 million. That is a significant legal milestone.
Why is it so significant? I mean, beyond the dollar amount.
Well, getting this kind of legal insight into the cyber espionage world, especially concerning spyware like NSO's Pegasus, is pretty rare.
Because it targeted Meta's users, right? WhatsApp.
Exactly. So the impact. First, it sets a precedent. It shows there can be real accountability, financial accountability for spyware firms.
Okay.
And second, it pushes the needle on developing global norms around these powerful surveillance tools.
Yeah.
It sends a message about misuse having consequences.
Good, we need more of that. Now let's tackle AI. It's everywhere. The promise, the peril, it really feels like that double-edged sword.
That's the perfect way to put it. On the one hand, huge potential. AI can analyze data way faster than humans, potentially spotting threats much quicker.
And reducing human error.
Correct.
Which is behind, 90% of breaches?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Massive factor. So AI could help there.
But the other edge of the sword.
Risks, like vulnerabilities in the AI-generated code itself. If the AI isn't perfect, its code won't be either.
Creating new holes to patch?
Exactly. And then there's shadow AI. Employees using AI tools without official approval or oversight.
Bringing unsecured tools into the network.
Right. Introduces unknown risks. Experts are really pushing for organizations to get a handle on shadow AI now. Set up governance, make sure it's used safely.
It sounds complex, but then you see something like Google using its Gemini Nano AI in Chrome.
Yeah, that's a great example of the defensive side.
To spot tech support scams in real time.
Exactly. Analyzing page content and behavior to flag scams as they happen. That shows the immediate practical benefit AI can offer for user protection.
So, progress on both the threat and defense fronts, and it's not just the big tech companies making moves, is it? Governments, other corporations are stepping up too.
Definitely. Look at the UK. They launched new cyber resilience test facilities and cyber assurance services at Cybersecurity 2025.
Promoting secure by design.
Yes, encouraging building security in from the start, plus offering ways to test and certify that resilience. Government backing like that can really lift standards across the board.
And HPE's new gateway for small businesses. That seems important too.
It is. The Networking Instant on Secure Gateway, unveiled in Singapore. It bundles firewall, intrusion detection, VPN. Essential stuff for smaller organizations that might not have big security teams.
Making robust security more accessible.
Absolutely. Addresses a critical gap.
And we can't forget CISA in the U.S., constantly putting out advisories.
Crucial work. Their alerts on threat tactics, indicators of compromise, especially for critical infrastructure and industrial control systems, are vital for national security.
Right, and Microsoft just patched those 4 critical cloud vulnerabilities: Azure DevOps, automation, storage, Power Apps.
Yeah, a reminder that vigilance is constant. Patching promptly remains absolutely critical for everyone.
Okay, just a couple more quick hits on other threats that caught our eye. That 20-year-old botnet takedown, AnyProxy, and 5SOX.
Significant disruption. Taking down infrastructure used for residential proxies, infecting thousands of routers for 2 decades, that's a solid win for law enforcement.
And the SAP attacks, linked to China.
Yes. Exploiting a maximum severity flaw in SAP NetWeaver instances shows the ongoing threat from sophisticated state-sponsored actors targeting enterprise systems.
And finally, those UK retail attacks, impersonating IT help desks.
Yeah, hitting places like M&S, Co-op. Classic social engineering, tricking staff into resetting passwords to gain access.
That really highlights the human element, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It underlines why employee training, clear internal procedures, and guidance like the NCSC issued are so important. Technology is one thing, but people are often the first line of defense, or the weakest link.
So, stepping back from all this, this double day's worth of news, what are the big takeaways for you? What stands out?
I think it's the sheer resilience and adaptability on both sides. Cyber threats like ransomware and phishing, they get hit, they adapt, they keep coming, often more sophisticatedly.
Right.
But at the same time, we're seeing a stronger pushback. Legal actions, corporate investment in security, government initiatives, smarter defenses, using things like AI.
So it's that constant evolution. The cat and mouse game just keeps accelerating.
Exactly. It's incredibly dynamic. Threats evolve. Defenses must evolve faster. There's no standing still.
It certainly feels that way.
Absolutely. And that leads to, I think, the final thought for you, our listeners.
Yeah.
When you see the inner workings of a group like LockBit exposed, or the sheer scale of an operation like FreeDrain,
Yeah.
it makes you wonder, right? What's the next evolution? What new strategies will cybercriminals come up with in response to these pressures, these defenses? And maybe more importantly, how can we, individuals, businesses, everyone, how can we start thinking now to proactively prepare for those threats we haven't even seen yet?
That's a really important question to leave people with. How do you prepare for the unknown unknown?
It's the core challenge, isn't it? Something definitely worth pondering as we navigate this digital landscape.